All right, welcome back to Ozark Garage. Today we're going to go over some important trailer maintenance, and I'm going to show you how to replace the wheel bearings on a trailer. So the first step is we're going to jack up the trailer and then remove the tires. So now that the tires and wheels are off, we can remove the dust caps. I like to use a cold chisel and just give it a couple taps with a hammer. It should come right off. I'm doing both a idler and a brake hub, but they're basically the same with a couple small exceptions. This trailer was originally a single axle, and then I added another axle later on. So this one has the new style Dexter retainer over the nut, and the brake hub one has a classic cotter pin. But once you take off the cotter pin or retainer, it should just spin off by hand and come right off. Now, I'm going to throw away these bearings because I've got new ones to replace them with, but the dust cap, nut, retainer, and washer all have to be reused. So I've got these in a stainless steel pan so I can clean them up with some solvent here in a little bit. Needless to say, you're going to need a lot of paper towels or rags and several pairs of gloves because you're going to make a giant mess, which is probably why people like to ignore this job and not maintain their trailers. So here's the idler hub on the workbench off the trailer. As I mentioned before, the outer bearing like this is going to get replaced. And then on the back side of the hub here, there's a seal holding the old bearing in place. This can get thrown away. Old bearing can get pitched. If you don't know why this is important to replace your bearings and at least repack them, you see how this grease is red, to be bright red, like that. And now you can see it's very dark. Well, all this dark stuff in here is metal shavings. There's no filter in this hub, so there's no place for the wear from these bearings to go except stay in the grease. And where's it more? The hub is usually full of grease, or it should be anyway. So we're going to take a putty knife here, and we're just going to go in and we're going to scrape out everything we can from inside the hub, because we're going to put fresh grease in there anyway. So in each hub there's two bearing races. There's a large inner, and then there's going to be a smaller outer one. And we need to drive those out because we are going to replace them. Take a punch, put it in on the side here, and we're going to catch the edge of that bearing, tap it out like that. And we just got to do that for both sides. So a little naphtha or mineral spirits in a well-ventilated area will clean up all of these parts. And then we're going to clean out the grease from inside the hub also. So I'm going to start with just a paper towel here and wipe out as much of it as I can with that. And then once again back into our solvent bath to clean out the remnants. Alright, so now that we've got the hubs cleaned up, it's time to put in our new bearing races. So these are genuine Timken made in USA bearings and races. This is a 3,500 pound axle, so it uses a set 17 for the rear and a set 4 in the front. Not a fan of rolling the dice on something like this that I travel across the country with cheap Amazon bearings. So the Timkens really aren't that expensive if you buy them from someplace like Rock Auto. $7 for a bearing and race. And then the seal is a National 473-336 for this 3,500 pound axle. First thing we're going to do is we're going to install the inner race, because it's on the back side of the hub here. Now, someone's going to yell at me in the comments for using a steel punch. But this punch, if you will, is just a piece of steel pipe, and it's much, much softer than the bearing. So I have tried brass punches, I've tried aluminum punches on this, and they deform way too much. So I've just kind of gone to using this piece of pipe, and I have yet to damage a bearing doing so. Trying not to hit the light on the camera, so I'm going to move it out of the way a little bit. Here we are. This is the part where a brass punch always failed me. You got to get the bearing race down below this lip where the seal goes. And the edges of the brass punch would always deform to the point that it would round off and you couldn't do it. The steel punch will also round off, but all I have to do is hit it with the grinder and reshape it every time that happens, and I'm good to install another set of bearings. We just got to flip it over and do it again. All right, so we got outer and inner races installed. Fresh set of gloves. I think we're on set number 3 now, and it's time to pack some bearings. Packing bearings is just a matter of getting grease inside the cage all the way around the bearing in between the rollers. You can buy a fancy bearing packing tool, but I still generally pack them by hand. And all you need to do is get some grease, put it in the palm of one of your hands like this, grab the bearing, and what you're doing is you are just taking little scoops of grease and packing it into the race between the bearings. You'll start to see grease right there. All you got to do is keep packing the bearing all the way around till you get it full of grease, and then do the other bearings. So now we got our bearings packed. The other thing we need to pack is the hub. So we want a reservoir of grease inside each hub that will sling out basically and keep the bearings full of grease as the hub spins going down the road. So just pack it full of grease as you can. When the axle goes through, it's going to move it around a little bit, but get some grease in there. And then the other thing we want to do is we want to coat the race inside here. Then we're going to put one of our large bearings in the back of the race like that. All right, and now we can go ahead and install our new seal for the back side of the hub. Few taps. Now on the front side of the hub, it's basically the same thing. I'm going to smear some grease around on the inside, make sure there's plenty to cover the bearing and make sure it doesn't run dry. Put some on the race, and then we throw an actual bearing in there, pack around it, and we're ready to put this one back on. Cleaned all the old grease off of the spindle here, and we're ready to put our hub back on. So first thing gets is a washer like this, and then the nut gets screwed on next. For tightening these, following Dexter's instructions, they say to tighten it tight and then loosen it, and then just hand tight, and then we can put our retainer on like that. Just got to put our grease cap back on. Then we just got to wipe it down, get rid of all the excess grease, and put the tire on. We're good to go. Spindle with the brake drum is basically the same. Goes back on. Washer, line in the flat spot. Then our castle nut this time. But same thing. Get it tight, loosen, and then just hand tight. And then new cotter pin. So overall, this is a pretty simple project. It's kind of messy, maybe really messy, but not too difficult. So if you have some skills and some basic hand tools, you should be able to do it and keep your trailer rolling down the road for years to come. So thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.